Here are 8 tips to better negotiate with suppliers. Tip number 1 is to get WeChat if you haven't already. WeChat is so important because most Chinese people use WeChat to communicate on a daily basis. It's like their text messaging app. And I would know because I'm half Chinese, and all my family on my mom's side who's Chinese, they use that all the time. So get that if you haven't already, and I'll explain that more in a little bit about how to use that to negotiate with suppliers. But get that because you'll see a faster response time from them usually, and they'll like that you use the app that they're familiar with. Tip number 2 is to ask questions and be direct. Don't be afraid to ask questions. So if you want a certain price or you're curious about something, then don't be afraid to ask for it. Just be direct with them. Don't beat around the bush. Just get straight to the point. And worst case is they say no. And that's no problem because there's plenty of suppliers out there that you can go to if those don't work out. Other thing is to ask about their product. Ask how they build it. Ask more specific questions about how they make it and different things like that. And ask like, can they accommodate creating a custom logo and putting it on the product? Can they make custom packaging? Can they do custom product modifications for you? And by asking all these more in-depth questions, that will make them take you more seriously because, most people are just trying to ask them to get the cheapest price. They're just trying to order like 10 units and then that's it. And they're trying to run a business too. So you have to understand that they're trying to make money just like you. And so you have to show that, okay, you're someone that they should take seriously. And so also you can also check to see if they're a factory or a trading company. Factories, they tend to have the lowest price on like Alibaba, AliExpress because they're the ones actually making the products. Most other companies are trading companies, which usually they're like the middlemen. They basically contact, and like when you contact them, then they'll basically turn to the factory, buy it from them, and then they will sell it to you at a higher price because that's how they make money. So you can tell by looking through their photos. Like if you look through their photos down here, if you see more like office pictures and stuff like that, like regular office space, then chances are it's a trading company. And also you can check up here whether it says like trading, it'll either say like trading company, custom manufacturer, factory, stuff like that. And so you want the factory. Usually they have the cheapest prices, but of course there are always exceptions to that. So just do your research and check what the prices are and what kind of company they are. Other thing you can do is try matching. So check with other suppliers, check their other prices, and see and mention that if you're negotiating with a supplier, then you can tell them, hey, this other supplier here was offering this exact same product for like $2 less. Can you match that? Because otherwise I'll just go with them since they're cheaper. And usually this can tend to lower, or they'll tend to lower their prices for you if you bring this up. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So it's worth mentioning and trying out. Fourth thing is to ask them or to tell them that, hey, I will buy more units in the future if you get a lower discount price now. And usually, you want to buy samples and all that to check the quality of the product, to see if it's good, and then go from there. Usually samples automatically, because of that reason, they'll usually be a little bit higher quality than the actual product itself. But again, it depends on the supplier. You could have a really good supplier that truly is like true to their word. And I'm not saying most aren't, but my point is, samples will usually be the best version of their product, and the actual process of it may be a little bit lower quality. But so samples are important, but you can ask them that you'll say like, hey, I'm gonna buy like 100 units more in the future if you guys give me a discount on this MOQ right now. And you don't want to go off the point. You're like, don't try and buy like just 10 units or 100 units. Like if they have an MOQ of 500, then be willing to pay that, and not try and like negotiate under. You don't want to try and like only negotiate 50 if their MOQ is 500. That's just too big of a jump. It's like find another supplier or make more money. Be willing to spend more money on this kind of stuff if they can't do drop shipping. But because like I said, they're trying to make money as well. They're a business as well. But so with this buy offering to buy more units in the future, be willing to pay that amount in the future. If you say this, don't lie to them because that will just ruin your reputation among that supplier and also the other suppliers that they know. The other thing is to treat them like real people. Most of the time we see or I've seen that, so many people just think suppliers like, okay, just give me the best deal, whatever, I don't care about them, and they're just talking to them because they have to get the product. But take the time out of your day to ask them, hey, how's your day going? How are you? Like, how's your holiday? Know the Chinese holidays, that can be great, because when you treat them like family, when you treat them like a real person, then they'll be more willing to give you better deals. They'll be able to help you any way they can because you've taken the time to make a personal connection with them. And don't just do it because I said it. Actually be genuinely curious and interested in the people that you're talking to. That, you cannot replace that authentic, genuine care for people. If you're just doing it just to get a better deal or whatever, people can sense that. So truly, be interested in talking to them and ask like, hey, how's your day going? Because it can go a long way. And especially if you know the Chinese holidays, like Chinese Lunar New Year or the Chinese Independence Week. Like usually I think people get a week or two off of work in China during their Independence Week. And you can look it up online when China's Independence Day is. And you'll just know that week that, okay, they're not going to be replying probably, and they'll probably be off work. But then you can follow up with them, say, hey, how was your holiday? How was your Independence Week or whatever? Because that can go a long way. The other thing is, don't be needy. If they can't accommodate what you want, then don't be afraid to find another supplier. There's plenty out there. Don't be afraid to move on from suppliers if they're not responding, or if they're not able to accommodate you with like a certain price or MLQ or logo, stuff like that. Then it's okay, guys, because there's tons of them out there. You can always find another supplier. And even if a certain supplier doesn't offer the product you want, you can take a screenshot of that product and send it to them and say, hey, can you make a product like this? And, I'd be willing to buy a couple hundred units if you're able to make it. And so that can be something. Just, again, don't be afraid to ask questions. You'll never know if you don't ask. So why not ask? Another thing, 7, is be patient. Okay, don't expect them to reply immediately to every single message, even if you're using WeChat, because it's still like there's still a huge time gap. I noticed that some of the people, or a lot of the supplier contacts that I talk to, like that they have at the bottom of the page here that you can talk to. I noticed a lot of them are from China, but also a lot of them are from other countries in like Eastern Europe, like Siberia or is it Serbia? One of those two that's near there. I don't remember which one was which, but so understand there's going to be a time gap. They're not going to respond 2 minutes after you send the message, even if you're staying up late, even if you're up at midnight or something. They have to check with their boss. They have to do different things. They're not just talking to you. They're talking to probably dozens of different people as well on a daily basis, and they have to think about all these needs and stuff. So just be patient, okay? Don't expect them to be perfect. Don't expect them to text you every 5 minutes with the answers that you want exactly. They'll respond to you, but it may take a day or two. So just understand that, be okay with that. And that can be great because then you can contact other suppliers in the future and talk to multiple different ones. And then, like I said, you can talk about matching, and you can say, hey, if one supplier has a cheaper price than the other two, then you can tell the other two suppliers that and say, hey, this guy is offering me, half off where you guys are offering full price. Can you match that price or at least go a little bit lower? So that can definitely help. And another thing, like I said earlier, guys, is work with them. Don't just try to get the cheapest price. Don't just try to order like 10 units and then expect them to pay the expensive shipping to get it to the US, to your house. Like, understand, you got to work with them. They're trying to make a business, to run a business and make money just like you. So don't try to nag them and keep begging them and, trying to please them to just give you the lowest price. Nobody likes someone who's just needy. So don't be needy, guys, because people can sense that. And again, that's going to turn people off, and that's going to make them less likely to respond to you and negotiate with you. And so I also want to give you guys a branded supplier template that I've used myself, that this has worked extremely well, but that you guys can download for yourself. So it's going to be in the link in the description of this video, but it's completely free, like no email address, no like money. Like, I'm not charging anything for this. It's completely free. You can download. All you got to do is just, once you click the link in the description, you won't be able to edit it. So you have to go up here, click file, and then make a copy. And once you make a copy, then you'll be able to edit this. You'll be able to copy and paste this, print this out, do whatever with it. But I'm going to walk you guys through real quick what the template looks like. So first, it starts off with greetings. My name is, you'll insert your name, which I have a blank fill in the blank template here where you can just type in using the prompts that I've given you. So that way it just makes it easier on you. But you'll basically introduce yourself. You don't want to say like you're the CEO. You don't want to say that you're the CEO of your company or, oh, I'm the founder of this company or whatever, because that just screams that, okay, you're probably a drop shipper or, because Chinese suppliers in general, even if you're not sourcing from China, even if you're sourcing from the US or Europe or wherever, people still understand, they know what drop shippers are like. And unfortunately, they have a bad reputation of being needy, of, just trying to look for the lowest price and just they're just like not authentic, and they're usually just looking for a quick fix or the cheapest price, the lowest amount of inventory to order. And so they don't want that because obviously, like I said, they're trying to run a business. And so you want people who are going to buy higher amounts of units more consistently because that's what will make you the most amount of profit. So instead, use a different position title. Say, I am the director of manufacturing. I am the director of customer outreach or supplier relationships, whatever, at your company, because then that will make it sound like your company is more built up. There's more, your company is more established. It's more authoritative. It's not just a one-man show it's not just one person running it and who's drop shipping. So that can be great. That can, again, help them pay more attention to you because it sounds more professional as well. It's not just like, hey, bro, how many units can I send? You're also sending this in a very professional format. So again, it'll make them take you more seriously because they get hundreds of inquiries every single day. And so imagine having to filter through that every single day. You want yours to stand out and you want yours to be professional. And you can say like, CEO asked me to contact you to inquire about working together. We're very interested in establishing a profitable long-term relationship with your company. By saying that, again, it sounds more professional, but also it's true. It's like you guys, of course, want to establish a profitable long-term relationship because one, it makes them feel like, hey, they're also interested in our end of the deal, the supplier's end of the deal. They care about our well-being, not just their own. Or you don't care about just your own well-being and your benefit in this relationship. You're also showing the supplier that, hey, I care about you as well. And that's why I'm saying I want to establish a long-term profitable relationship. And you can say we're a US-based health and wellness company. You can change that, if you're based somewhere else outside the US, and change this to say what niche your company is in, so health and wellness or technology or electronics, whatever. And then we're headquartered in whatever city you live in, so Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and you can say we're very interested in the whatever the product name is. So usually what I'll do is I'll just go up here, like say this listing, I'll just copy and paste this. So that way they know, because I'm sure they have a ton of products on Alibaba, AliExpress. And so just copy and pasting the actual listing headline is so much better. It makes it easier for them to find it, and also just makes it's more clear and definite which product you want. And then you say I would like to order multiple units with our own custom logo on it, and you can change that to say whatever you want. You can say we would like to order multiple units with our own custom logo on it, custom packaging, and can you do these product modifications as well? Would you be able to help us with that? And we look forward to working with your company, establishing a long-term profitable business relationship between our two companies. Feel free to add me on WeChat. Like I said, it's important to get WeChat because that's like their text messaging system. That's the main app that they use to communicate with their friends and family. So when you have that, you're going to get a faster response time. It's going to seem more native. They're going to be more willing to work with you. So then you can include your WeChat ID down there. And then thank you, look forward to your reply, have a wonderful day, and then end with your company, trademark, and your position. So I hope this helps, guys, but this is definitely a start, and you can obviously add to this. You can add, take away stuff. You can play with it, but this gives you a framework that's worked really well for me, and I know many other people as well. And notice I didn't mention drop shipping or anything like that. If you guys are trying to do drop shipping or something like that, then I would recommend wait till you get an answer from this and then ask them, hey, would you also be able to accommodate drop shipping and then go from there. And again, you can send this to many different suppliers. You can send this as many times as you want. Just literally, once you fill this in using the fill in the blank template here, which you can download at in the description of this video, then you can literally copy and paste and send this as many times as you want. And you don't have to think about it. You don't have to type out a long message and spend an hour, 2 hours doing it. You'll literally just be able to copy and paste this, send it to them, and then boom, you're done. Like, you don't even have to think about it. And usually what I'll do, another tip, is when you copy and paste this and put it in here, then also make sure that this says don't just put like 10 units or something, even if that's what you're, or don't just put 100 units, even if that's what you're trying to buy. Put in like 1,000, because again, that will be higher up on their priority list to look, because you're saying, okay, I want to buy a ton of units. And don't deceive them. Don't put like 100,000, but just put more. Just put a higher amount, because that will get them to check your inquiry and will respond to you quicker. So, and like I said at the beginning here, put the person's contact name. So in this case, he'll do. Put that there in your template, and then that way it looks like they know who, or it makes you look like know that you know who you're talking to. So again, this will be available to be downloaded in the description, guys. Also, the negotiating tips with suppliers will be in there as well, so you guys can always look at them. You can print it out, do whatever you want. But I hope this video finds you well, guys. Hope this helps. Subscribe for more free e-commerce and supplier tips just like this. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know down below if this helped you and what videos you guys would like to see from me in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.